Today's AskReddit post. What movie do you think was ruined by a sex scene? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Beowulf. He was supposed to kill the monster, not duck it. In his defense, the monster was Angelina Jolie. She was gold, right? I remember I had the most vivid dream of her once when I was younger. Not a movie, but the Halo show did not need the Master Chief to get laid. Master Cheeks. When my brother recorded porn over home movies, Christmas '89, misplaced the tape, and my mother found it and put it with the others. Bro forgot about it. She was showing home movies to people years later. He recorded right in the middle of the tape, while opening presents at the grandparents' house. It went straight from Sarah opening a Barbie doll to hardcore porn. Mom said it ruined her home movies. I thought it was hilarious. My brother, he did get busted over it, but it's not like she could really punish him, since we were in our 30s by that point. It definitely got him busted. Wasn't a fan of Batman banging Batgirl and killing joke. I figured it was gonna be referenced again later, but they never actually put in a reason for it to be there. There was none, and was just tacked on to give feelings about Batgirl to people who didn't really follow the comics. Sex scene is downright gross. In the comics they officially gunned down and paralyzed one of Batman's longtime sidekicks at the time, and it created Oracle. There's this retelling of Hansel and Gretel where the two kids survived the witch and vowed to become witch hunters and keep the people safe. Then Hansel has intercourse with a witch. Hansel. So hot right now. Sting. Sting would be another person who's a hero. The music he's created over the years. I don't really listen to it, but the fact that he's making it, I respect that. Well, it definitely wasn't Matt Grubber. That scene where he was slamming the ghost of his wife in the graveyard was solid gold. Or Team America. America. Fuck yeah. Not a movie, but just about any Stephen King novel. He adds intercourse when it's most definitely not needed at all. You're talking about it, aren't you? You try writing a book in the middle of a coke bender and not putting a child gangbang scene in there. On the opposite side, that's the reason *A Few Good Men is forever in my personal top 10. Tom Cruise and Demi Moore go out to dinner, and it's totally professional and gives some great insight into the characters without using intercourse at all. Pretty much every action movie from the 90s had a random intercourse scene. Like we are supposed to believe two people on the run for their lives are going to stop and duck. It was essential for every *80s and *90s movie to have boobs. There would be a fight scene in a hotel and they always fight through a room where people were having intercourse. For balance, every porn should have a random fight wander through the room. You know, the other side of the story. Fury was saved by having a intercourse scene without showing it. The intercourse scene / implication of intercourse in Fury is how it should be done. It was actually very important to the story. They could have shown more, but it was unnecessary as nothing interesting during their copulation happened other than the copulation itself being used as a tool to turn him into a killer. I went in thinking it was just a run-of-the-mill action film. The movie turned out to be a masterpiece of cinematography and storytelling, in my opinion. I don't know. I always thought that Terminator 1 is a great example of showing an intercourse scene that is genuinely very important, both as plots and characters. Splice. Shudder. He basically ducked his kid. The movie is all kinds of ducked up. It rules. Top Gun. Watching Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis going at it with zero chemistry. Watched it in 3D at an IMAXimum once. No one needs to see a 6-foot Tom Cruise tongue wandering across the screen. Close-head folks don't need to be faking it in movies where everyone can see through it. Felony. 11-year-old me did not have to see that. Ever. I'm in my 20s now. Jesus Christ, you've unearthed some memories. That entire movie was insane. Cat intercourse or no cat intercourse. The main character disemboweling the antagonist was so ducking graphic. This one may be controversial because I know a lot of people loved it. but the end of Sausage Party was way too long and detailed for my taste. It's not that the intercourse scene ruined the movie just by existing. It's more that the way it was done and its length rendered the rest of the movie unmemorable. Granted, that's not a huge loss, but I laughed my ass off for about a minute and then sat through what seemed like another half hour of the same. If you love it, more power to you. Just not for me. I just recently watched this for the first time and holy poop, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. Not ruined but wasn't needed at all. The intercourse scene in Batman: The Killing Joke. I don't know about everybody else, but that scene in The Lion King sure was uncomfortable as hell as a kid. I don't think the scene itself was nearly as uncomfortable as the simple fact that my intercordial awakening started with me wanting to bang an animated lioness. Or maybe the fact that they were probably half siblings. Take your pick. The look Nala gives Simba is enough to earn that movie a PG-13 rating. Pirates. That was a sick movie. Don't know why it had so many forced intercourse scenes though. Are you talking about the porn movie Pirates that had a non-porn version at Blockbuster? Monsters Ball. Hallberry kinda ruined the flow for the movie for me when I found myself rewinding for some reason. Make me feel good. Any movie I unwittingly watched with my parents. Not exactly ruined, because it was already crap. But The Eternals. The tone of the film was really family friendly, so the intercourse scene was just really jarring and out of place. Also they are robots, so why would they even want intercourse? I went with a whole group of kids. They made a whole brouhaha about the gay couple in the movie, which was perfectly fine and just amounted to a peck on lips that was nothing. Meanwhile, the straight intercourse scene, all the kids covered their eyes, felt really out of place and unnecessary. Not ruined, but it's just so out of place. The ghost giving Rhea BJ in Ghostbusters, complete with crossed eyes. That scene flew right over my head as a kid. I watched it with my kids recently and just realized what was actually happening. I just knew *SOMETHING dirty was happening. Did not have a clue what. Rene Declara. Funny movie for the entire family. And then at the very end, bam. Underworld. When the character started kissing it was so jarring the whole theater laughed. The Killing Joke was already pretty mid though. Watchmen. I'm not sure if the scene itself was the worst part or the fact that it was set to the original Leonard Cohen version of Hallelujah. I dunno. I felt it was appropriate. It was the only time in the entire story that two characters felt happy. It was also awkward. But then again, so is Night Owl. I thought it fit as well. These people itched to fight crime and the two were also already wanting to have intercourse prior, but the dude was have performance issues. They go out, kick some ass and hop in the ship and start ducking. Hell yeah. Top Gun. The intercourse scene is just too much. That tongue silhouette seared into my 10-year-old brain. Splice. Like what the actual duck? It's the whole point of the film. It's literally don't put your dick in that, the movie. Any that I watched with my mom lol. A penhema lol reading The Bag of Adjita while laying pipe was cringy af. The scene in Get Him to the Greek with the almost threesome was weird and out of place. Funny up until that. Oh god, that must be horrendous to watch now. The implied oral scene in the original Ghostbusters. Well, not ruined, but it struck me as a false note. Private Ryan. Tom Hanks did not need to do that. Can I suggest that you may have accidentally rented the porn parody Saving Ryan's Privates? SHAVING**. Matrix Reloaded. Cold Mountain. What was implicit in the book became explicit in the movie. Totally ruined it for me. Probably the Garfield movie. That scene was really unnecessary. My eyes hurt just thinking about it. Ruined is a stretch. but the intercourse scene between Florence Pugh and Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer was absurdly stupid and unnecessary. Also such a weird place to put such a famous quote. You're not wrong. Honestly, I think that quote should have been left out entirely and they just play the real speech after the film ends. Oppenheimer. Just too much and unnecessary. Now I have become Dadaheimer. Destroyer of pussies. Oppenheimer in his mind. Probably. I have become Cockenheimer. Receiver of Sloppenheimer. I wouldn't say I've seen any ruin a movie, but intercourse scenes in general are dumb and rarely add anything to a movie. The Revenant. Blue is the warmest color. Incredibly moving and tender and heart-wrenching coming-of-age film with the most unbelievably ridiculous pornographic intercourse scene. Ruins it. But the French won't even watch it unless it has a mind-numbingly gratuitous intercourse scene. I'm French and even I thought the intercourse scenes, especially the first one, were way too long. We French love our gratuitous intercourse scenes, but there's a limit. In that film, it felt more like watching the director's fantasy. The Eternals. It was supposed to be for most audiences. Not ruined, but the intercourse scene in The Watchmen was ducking super weird and unnecessary. The music choice for that was also something. Lemon stealing whores. I want to know more details about the lemon orchard. What is special about these lemons? Why do whores steal them? How does lemon tree insurance work? What are this young couple's lemony hopes and dreams? Is there a whore villain plotting against them? All this unanswered for some pretty average porn intercourse. The Room. 2003. Oh wait, the whole movie is a intercourse scene. Kingsman. The anal intercourse scene at the end prevents me from recommending the movie to anyone older than me. That was such a stupid thing to add on to another wise awesome movie. Not a intercourse scene, but the R**PE scene in Halloween by Rob Zombie. They cut it out or deleted it after a while, so I'm not sure how many people saw it. It was horrifying to me. I have not watched this movie since the first time I saw it because of that scene. Glad to know it's gone. Lethal Weapon 6. Lethal Weapon 7. Revenge of the Nerds. I don't mind intercourse in a raunchy 80s comedy. It's just that one was particularly distasteful. That's My Boy. The intercourse scene between the brother and sister left a sour taste in my mouth despite supposedly trying to be funny. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.